Welcome to the 2024 U.S. National Gravity Championships here at Ride Rock Creek in Zirconia, North Carolina, with coverage brought to you by the SRAM Downhill Southeast Series. There is no question this has been one incredible year for U.S. Downhill, with a constant rise to the podium at the World Cups. This weekend it all comes home with a stacked field as Luca Shaw and Anna Newkirk defend their title against elite veterans like Dakota Norton, Kaylee Skelton, Aaron Gwynn, and our next generation of rising stars like Asa Vermette, Dylan Maples, and Taylor Osgard. I'm your host, Rich Moore, joined by Will Washam and Grizz in the booth, and our entire crew is excited to bring you all of the action as the battle unfolds for the Stars and Stripes. Well, now in its second year of operation, Ride Rock Creek has seen a constant evolution of its pro stampede track. Right out of the gate, our riders enter into the classic upper rock garden, which now chokes into some additional corners, fresh line options, feeding into a technical fall line right into a step up. And the compressions come hard and fast as a few more tight corners feed into the final upper rock garden and into the original flyover bridge. From here, a couple more steep fall lines drive us into split 2 and the lower half of the track. This middle traverse delivers more heavy compressions before hitting a bit of off camber where things start to shift into some massive corners punctuated by larger features. This lower section is blinding fast, with a few more critical and technical moves required to maintain momentum coming into that final speedway, where a massive jump delivers our racers right into the finish line. All right, Will, we're just moments away from racing. Let's take a look at yesterday's seating results.
Yeah, for the pro women, Anna Newkirk came out firing, made a statement with an 8-second lead over Kaylee Skelton. And then right behind those two women, we've got some young riders that are vying for a medal. We got Matilda Melton and Kale Cushman. And then we've got Abby Ronka and Maisie Hayden, some veterans trying to get up there on the podium this weekend.
That's right, Will. It looks like the battle for silver is just separated by 3 seconds as it stands. And this is going to be one exciting race, Will.
Well, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Will Washam here with Sean Grizz McClendon as Kale Cushman gets us started off for our elite women. She's going to be our hot seat rider, Grizz, before we get into the top 3. And what a rider to have on the hot seat, our defending junior women's downhill national champ.
Will, thanks for the introduction. Great to be in the booth with you. Kale Cushman, like you said, 2-time slalom national champion. My prediction is Cushman is going to be able to execute her corner speed from her slalom, and look at her dicing it up already. Just snapping in and out of these corners. Down the bridge.
So our first split today, just a little under a minute into the track. This track, just about 2 minutes for these pro women. The top seating time from yesterday, Anna Newkirk, was that 2:06. So we'll be waiting to see how close these first couple riders can get. It was a big margin in seating, Grizz, as we saw. But these ladies are up to the task.
They are. Kale Cushman is looking comfortable on course here today. The dirt is looking primo. I mean, look at that corner, just beautiful.
Some of that North Carolina loam, it's been getting churned up all weekend. National champs always getting a ton of riders on a track, and this track chopping up nicely. Cushman diving into that right-hand berm.
Yeah, Kale Cushman is looking effortlessly smooth here today. She looks incredibly comfortable on her Santa Cruz V10. Bike and body are gelling really well. Clean air.
There's going to be a bunch of big hits on that tabletop today as Cushman, our first rider through in the show, puts down a 2:14 for our hot seat time. So she dropped 3 seconds from her seating run yesterday. And Grizz, we are straight into the top 3. Matilda Melton put down a 2:16 yesterday, riding for Transition Factory Racing out of Bellingham, Washington. She is hot off a 3rd place in Crankworks in that crazy 1199 track.
Well, we have just seen Tilly perfect and hone in her racecraft all season. I mean, look at her form. She just looks absolutely comfortable on her transition. You know, she's on the Transition Factory Racing team. She's kind of the new prodigy. Laura Sternberg, we've seen riders like Tawny Seagrave come out of the transition racing program. Tilly's the new racing development rider. And look at the execution going on that inside line split. Look at the split time. She's in the green, Will.
Yeah, those lines paying off up top. And you can see the commitment when she came off that stump drop and just boosted the big step up. That's a marker of how much pace riders are carrying at the top of the course. It's a little bit flat after that step up as well, so really key to nail that section.
Matilda Melton is just executing she's not overcooking this race run, Will. She's managing this race incredibly well. This track is super short. She's going to try to get into that 2:12, 2:10 kind of time bracket. And it looks like she's on pace. This is a track where it's easy to overcook stuff, and Matilda's just managing her pace and executing great exit speed out of these berms. Clean, buttery smooth off that step down, Will. Love that.
Yeah, Matilda Melton is maturing into a world-class rider. She beat Eris van Leuven at that Crankworks race, and she's been warming up on the World Cup. We're waiting for a huge breakout result from her on the international scene, but will it be a big result from her today here at the National Championships? Matilda Melton will go fastest to 2:12.84, 1.5 seconds up on Kale Cushman. There was some magic up in them hill, Grizz. We're going to have to go back up and take a look at this run. Tilly was nailing her marks.
Tilly executed a fantastic race run. This is a national championship race, so there's no points. It's an all-or-nothing ride, but there's also world championships coming up. Tilly, just showing her racecraft, is coming into true form.
Kaylee Skelton, our second-to-last rider of the day. Qualified second yesterday with a 2:14.43. She is a two-time U.S. national champion, taking those titles in 2021 and 2022. And Grizz, she's only got one thing on her mind, and that is to get the Stars and Stripes sleeve back.
Oh, yeah, it's been a minute. In her head, she's probably getting impatient, like, hey, I want my sleeve back, so I'm going to go ahead and just send this as deep as I possibly can. Crush this backside, get on the gas. I'm loving the intensity out of Kaylee Skelton right now, Will. She is just on fire, going inside there, straightening out those corners. Look at the time. It's split one, Will.
It's 0.8 of a second into the green for Kaylee Skelton. She's doing just what she needs to do. And she continues to get better as the tracks get steeper and faster. We got to remember, she burst onto the scene in 2019, and then the next time she was at the National Championships in 2021, she took the win. She's 2 for 4 National Championships taking victories, so she's got a great track record. And look at that inside line off the drop, Grizz, right to that smooth landing.
Kaylee Skelton is on a heater, Will. I just heard her breathing right there. She's in tune, doing that Tomac breath, what I call it. She's on a race-winning run right now. This is looking good.
You can see how the track is just deteriorating. So much heavy braking coming off that diving board step down as Skelton steps it down over those rocks as well.
Yeah, no mistakes. She's just pure execution. Complete redemption on this jump from earlier in this year. Skelton on the gas.
Skelton goes fastest with a 2:11.7, 1.13 seconds into the green. Still a ways back from the time we saw from Anna Newkirk yesterday. Kaylee's just throwing one down in Grizz. She had a sneaky line right there off the route.
Sneaky line, and Will, she just emptied the tank on this race run. Safe to say she didn't hold anything back, left it all between the tape, and you got to be satisfied with that at the end of the day.
And we've got one rider left, our top qualifier and defending national champion, Anna Newkirk, riding for Beyond Racing. You can see the Stars and Stripes number plate. She's got the number 1 rocking. And this is a rider that has proven to be one of the fastest women in the world with a second place this year on the World Cup circuit at Val di Sole.
Anna Newkirk is not messing about today, Will. She is absolutely on the gas. 11 out of 10 on the intensity scale. Flawless execution this far. Boosting, flowing, pumping, maximizing every bit. Look at that inside, super clean execution. See you later.
And it's a huge margin, Grizz. It's 3 seconds at split one. That is crazy. Only 50 seconds of track, and she's put that kind of time into a rider the caliber of Kaylee Skelton.
Anna Newkirk is on a chromoly frame, and she is just gelling with that bike. You know, the chromoly frames have a bit more flex. So for a lighter weight rider like Anna Newkirk, look at the exit speed that she's able to carry. A rider like her is going to be able to maximize a chromoly frame. And look at the pace and exit speed out of all these corners. This is a championship race run, Will. If she can hold it together, this is going to be her day.
She's only 23 years of age, Grizz, but so experienced. 39 World Cup starts between her junior World Cup racing days and her 3 seasons of elite racing. So she knows exactly what she needs to do, and her pace has been on a different level.
Oh, it's safe to say Anna Newkirk is the fastest American female downhill racer. And here she comes to the line. Is she going to prove it? She ran a 2:06 and change yesterday. 2:06.75.
5 seconds into the green, it's another national championship for Newkirk as she celebrates with her teammate Abby Hoagie down there in the finish corral. What a weekend for both these ladies coming over from their home base in Europe to contest the national championship. And this is the biggest we saw anyone go off that drop, Grizz.
Well, this is what it takes to win a national championship. Anna Newkirk is the fastest woman in USDH right now, Will.
And here's our podium from today's national championship. Anna Newkirk on top of the box, Kaylee Skelton in second place, and Matilda Melton, the bronze medalist. Let's go hear from Anna in the finish corral.
Anna, you had a pretty big margin in seating and then a 5-second winning margin today. Was the weekend as smooth as you made it look?
I definitely wouldn't say it was easy. It was a good track though, and I think the track suited me well, and I had a lot of fun on my bike and felt good, so yeah, I'm happy.
Your riding has progressed so much. We've watched you on the world stage get that World Cup podium. Were you able to attack this track a little bit harder?
I feel more confident on the bike, more confident in myself and my riding, so yeah, I definitely think I was able to attack a bit more.
So you came into this weekend as the defending national champ. Did you feel any pressure?
A little bit from myself and a little bit also from a lot of people, like, I don't know, saying, oh yeah, got to back it up this week and stuff like that. Also, I feel like coming off of a pretty decent season so far in the World Cups, there was a bit of pressure, but I try not to let it get to me and just focus on myself and my riding.
And we're excited to see the sleeve back on the World Cup. Congratulations, Anna. It's Anna Newkirk, your elite women's downhill national champion.
Thank you, Will.
Well, Grizz, this timing sheet from Elite Men's seeding results from yesterday is absolutely crazy. The top 3 separated by only 0.4 of a second, with Austin Dooley on top with a 154.17, followed by Ryan Pinkerton and Asa Vermette.
And in 4th place, a sign of things to come, we've got Lucas Dodora on the 155.45 on the same second as the GOAT of USDH, Aaron Gwynn. Gwynn's first race in a year. He's been recovering from injury. Welcome back, Aaron Gwynn.
Dylan Maples and Richie Rude in 6th and 7th on the same 100th of a second. It's going to be incredible racing today, Grizz. Let's get to it. And Grizz, our hot seat run is bringing the fire right out of the gate. Lucas Shaw is first on track because he had a problem in seating yesterday with a 2:05, but he is coming out guns blazing to defend his national championship.
Lucas Shaw already punishing every corner, and look at the BMX style over that step up, keeping it low. The speed is real with Lucas Shaw today. He is here to get some stars and stripes.
Yeah, he's been on a heater on the World Cup season, mixing it up with the best in the business. 45.9 here at that top split. Oh, man, and you can see this canyon just soaking up the hits on this track. It's gotten so rough over the week of practice.
Lucas Shaw is on a heater right now, Will. I mean, this is a high bar to set for these racers. I think their goal today is to get somewhere around 150, and Shaw is looking like he's on pace. Look at the corner speed.
Oh, and gapping off of that log. He is loose, throwing everything he has at this track today. Big hit coming up off the diving board rock into this right-hander, blowing out the cameraman.
I mean, Luca's riding is just, it's hard to, I get so lost. I just love watching Luca ride a bike. The execution is phenomenal. Take notes, young generation. Oh, look at the ET on the gas.
Winding up with the ET, and it's a 153. Faster than the time from Asa Vermette yesterday. 0.6 faster, I might add, and 0.6 on this track, Grizz. That's a lot of time.
That is indeed a lot of time. You know, Will, I'm wondering, Did Luca just sort of maybe sit back and sandbag and seating to get better track time? And the conditions were perfect. This is a national championship race run. You know, Luca may have put himself in position to get some stars and stripes on that sleeve. Let's see. Let's get into our top 8.
Tyler Irvin's going to start us off. He's from Alpine, California. It was a 157 for Irvin yesterday. Big Irv was 8th at national champs last year. Was 4th at the Tennessee National earlier this year with a stacked field out at Windrock.
You know, Irvin's been in the top 10 consistently in the U.S. This is a checkers or wreckers type day for these riders, and I'm wondering, you know, is Irvin going to throw down a checkers or wreckers type run, or is he maybe going to just hold it a little bit more conservative? He's riding flawlessly. It looks like he's not riding tight, which on a championship day, that's the biggest thing. Your nerves can work against you, and you can just tighten up.
Well, he's right there in touch, Grizz, 46.6, and there's a lot on the line here. There's World Championship selections on the line. Those have not come out yet, so Tyler going to want to make a big impression on that selection committee against all the top riders in the U.S. Dives into that left-hander. Nice and smooth right there. Didn't break traction.
Tyler's got to try and find up 4 seconds on this track somewhere, and right now it looks like he's just keeping it pretty consistent. I'm not going to say casual, but he's not overriding this track. He's trying his best to manage this day and not throw a race run away. Clean execution off that diving board. Look at that wide setup into that berm, smashing, getting great exit speed. Squeaking a little inside there, Will.
Yeah, Irvin's pulling out all the stops here. Oh, he's just going to keep the nose up and goes almost to flat with a little head slapper. Tyler Irvin crosses. It's a 155. So he's 2.39 outside that time of Lucas Shaw. The margins are razor thin here, Grizz.
Yeah, Tyler Irvin was able to shave off 2 seconds from his seating time yesterday. It's not going to be enough for a national title today, but you know what? Tyler Irvin has a solid future ahead of him.
Well, Irvin only 24 years old, and our next rider, Richie Rude, he's 29 now out of Reading, Connecticut, and he's got a few more years on, but he's got a few more titles on him as well. The 3-time Enduro World Cup champion.
You know, Richie Rude said earlier this season that he was just happy to be racing downhill because of this intensity. Look, he's riding 11 out of 10 on the intensity scale. He's not doing this that much in the Enduro bike. Richie Rude absolutely on the gas. Oh, look at that line, Will, shaving the outside. That looks like it worked out. Ooh, he packed up a little bit. That may have cost him maybe 1/10 of a second, actually.
Yeah, and those tenths add up here. Is Rude swinging off it. He's gapping off that bridge into split number 1, and he's on pace. He's only 0.6 of a second behind, and we know that Rude has the endurance to keep taking these big hits that the Rock Creek Stampede track throws at you.
The intensity from Richie Rude is real right now, Drew. Richie's looking like he wants it today. He is throwing down. You know, that turn ate him up at the Monster Pro Downhill earlier this season, and Rude is here to collect some stars and stripes, hopefully.
Well, he's no stranger to hardware at Downhill Championships. He was the junior downhill world champ in 2013, and he was 15th at the Wyndham World Cup in 2012 as a junior against the elites.
Richie Rude has just kept it pinned.
The pace is certainly there for Richie.
Richie's kept it pinned from top to bottom, Will. He has not let off the intensity at any point on this track. On the gas across the finish line.
Took that thing to flat, and he's right outside the time of Luca Shaw. He goes into second place, Grizz, just 0.7 off the time of Luca. We'll hop back up to the top, and he threaded the needle right there with the inside line off the tree.
Yeah, Richie Rude able to shave off a couple of seconds, but it's not going to be enough for a national title today. At the end of the day, hey, Richie's going to be stoked to be racing downhill.
Well, Dylan Maples certainly stoked to be on the Commensal Muck-Off Factory team. Yesterday was 6th in seating, 2.8 seconds off the pace set by Austin Dooley. But we know this man can turn it up as he gaps that entire rock section.
Dylan Maples, All-American caliber rider, All-American level wrestler in the past. And his intensity's 10 to 10 out of the gate. He's hitting his marks, utilizing that outside to inside. You know, Richie Rude bound up a little bit right there, and Maples able to execute better exit speed. That's what it's going to take to make up those tenths and even hundredths of a second today, Will.
Maples sending it off that over-under bridge as well, but he's going to be back by 4/10. And Richie Rude and Dylan Maples on the exact same hundredths of a second yesterday in seeding. So we'll see what Dylan can put together down here at the bottom. Wide entry into that left-hander.
Look at the exit speed out of Dylan Maples out of that corner. Ooh, see, you know, little pack up right there. That's going to cost him just a shave of time. Gapping out of that turn. That was sick, Will. We haven't seen that yet today.
Well, Maples pulling out the lines here at the bottom. He's got plenty of power. As Grizz mentioned, former wrestler. He's attacking all the tracks on the World Cup and just giving it the beans here at Rock Creek. Doubles those rocks into the final berms.
Dylan Maples has Rock Creek in a stranglehold right now, Will. Look at this pace as he charges into the Showtime booter. Clean, going deep and on the gas. What a run.
Can't contain the pros, Grizz. Even at 50 feet as Maples goes third. 1 second off the time of Lucas Shaw. So something special put down by Shaw as we go back up to see Dylan attack this steep fall line section.
Dylan Maples brought the intensity it took, but you know what? It just is all about perfection on this track. It's such a tight track, Will.
And here is Aaron Gwynn, 5th place yesterday. This is his first race run back since 2023 in Windrock. Actually, one of his very last races before the injury was right here at Rock Creek.
You know, Aaron mentioned earlier that he didn't really have any pressure on himself to perform or to win today. He's just stoked. This is a therapeutic, almost a healing race, if you will. But look at his intensity. It's like nothing ever happened. His pace is just on point, considering his situation of recovery for nearly a year.
Yeah, that scrub on the step up at the top was a thing of beauty, and he's a 1/10 of a second up on Lucas Shaw. Aaron diving into the steepest section of the track, cleanly into that rut. So much precision required, especially for this being his first race back on the bike. He's pinned.
I mean, in Aaron's opinion, he's off the couch coming into this race, and he's displaying why he is the GOAT of USDH. Clean execution. He's not overriding this track. His pace is on point with these top riders. And Gwynn's going to be happy with this comeback race. He is in contention right here. I think he can be a threat to Lucas Shaw, Will. He's hit all of his marks. Look at the blasting exit speed out of that triple outside setup. Oh, he's hitting his marks. He's grooving.
Well, he's got 8 national titles to his name. Could he add one more today? The crowd would go absolutely nuts here in North Carolina for it. And he's fastest, a 152.91, faster than what we saw yesterday. That's a huge run for Aaron Gwynn on that crest line. We got to take another look at one of these lines up top, Grizz. That was a thing of beauty.
Will, you're not kidding. That was a textbook race run. The main difference that Gwynn threw down here is perfection. This is the hardest part of downhill mountain bike racing, is to be as precise and pinpoint perfect. This is why Aaron Gwynn is the GOAT.
Well, we are getting closer to our top 3. Lucas Todora was 4th yesterday in seeding, and you can see the dichotomy here between the 36-year-old Aaron Gwynn and the 17-year-old Lucas Todora here at the National Championships with this UCI category. Anyone 17 and older eligible to win the championship. So Todora's just got one thing on his mind, and that is a win today.
Well, Todora is hitting his marks. He's on pace right now. Looks like he is matching the run that Aaron Gwynn just threw down, matching the pace that Lucas Shaw had on course. Clean execution. Can he hold it together here? Oops, slight little bobble. You see Roger's getting kind of bound up in these really chundery rocks. It's like a slot car here, Will. I mean, your tires, this is a game of absolute, like, millimeters.
Well, and it's 1/10 of a second on the timing sheet, so he's down by 0.4 to Aaron Gwynn, but that's a good place to be for a 17-year-old. Lucas really started pouring it on last year. Took a pro win at the Eastern States Cup, and when you're 16 years old and you're winning pro at the regional races, that means you're going to be one special rider. He's taken it to the World Cup with Transition Factory Racing this year, and he's taken it to this course at Rock Creek today.
Yeah, Todora hitting his marks. Not seeing, these just slight imperfections. You can see the difference in Gwyn. I mean, he just had a little bit more emphasis on the exit speed out of corners and just flawless pump. Gwyn tripled that and set up wide. Dodora's opted to ride a different line. I don't think that's going to pay off for him here today, but nevertheless, excellent riding out of this youngster. Lucas Dodora on the pedals, over the Showtime booter, and to the line.
It's going to be third for Dodora, 153.6, so 2.39 back on Gwyn's time. But what a showing from Lucas today. He's going to take away a ton of confidence from his performance this week. As we see him up here come off the stump, goes inside.
I think Lucas Dodora had the right idea coming out of the gate, but just kind of got a little bit tight, overrode the track a little bit, lost time at the end.
Well, Asa Vermette was third yesterday in seeding. This young man's got a wry smile on his face because he just loves riding and racing his bike that much. Just 4/10 off the top time yesterday. If anybody can find the time today, Grizz, it's Asa.
Asa Vermette is leading the charge. He is the turning of the guard. This could potentially be the next GOAT of U.S. downhill. Look at the pace and cleanliness. Asa Vermette absolutely on point. Look at the pump. Let's see how he goes through here. Nope, looks like he's not getting bound up here. Great exit speed from Asa Vermette. Will, this is looking like a championship race run if I've seen one.
And Vermette just straight down the middle of that bridge, and he's up by 0.2 of a second. And I love watching Asa attack these sections. He just goes directly from point A to point B, and it doesn't even look like he slows down for the corners. He's going to need every bit of that talent to pull out a win against this field today.
Asa Vermette executing flawlessly today. No mistakes. Excellent exit speed. He is hitting his marks and just crossing his T's, dotting his I's. Will, I think this is going to be a nail-biter fight to the finish. In fact, Asa's looking like he's building speed here. Wow, look at him rail that berm.
He destroys that right-hand berm. Absolutely ripping. Well, if anybody has confidence, it's this man, Grizz. 3 wins in the World Cup season so far. He won the monster Energy Pro Downhill at Mountain Creek, and he's not going to stop pedaling to the line. Vermette, he's fastest with a 151, 1.5 seconds up. That's crazy.
The future is now, ladies and gentlemen. This is Asa Vermette. 151, riders were thinking 150 was going to be the winning time. Unbelievable clean riding out of Asa Vermette.
And the riders down in the crowd couldn't believe the time, Grizz. Vermette doing something super special up here, scrubbing to the inside. We've still got 2 riders left to go. Ryan Pinkerton from Aliso Viejo, California. He's riding for the Mondraker factory team this year. He's got so much support. He's building into his elite career, and this could be a huge one for Ryan today.
Ryan Pinkerton is going to need to find 3.5 to 4 seconds if he wants to be a contender for national champion today. Asa Vermette just threw down a heater, and Ryan Pinkerton looks like he's ready to match that. The intensity is high. Pinkerton is hitting his points. Let's see how he handles the exit of this section here, Will. This is a critical... Oh, he gaps out clean. Okay, Ryan Pinkerton is on it, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats.
Scrubbing off that bridge, Grizz. He's 0.2 of a second back, so right there in touch. He cannot afford any mistakes. He's got to keep it on the gas. Clean into that little catch rut. Such a technical move. Oh, and the bike is screaming for mercy in these G-outs.
Ooh, he overcooked that section a little bit. That may cost him. You saw him just compress really heavy, but he's bringing it back up. He's got his pace back up to where it needs to be. He's back hitting his marks. Clean execution, clean exit speed. I think those 2 heavy compressions, he's back on it. He's riding a wide track, opting to not triple that, keeping it low, going wide here.
Oh, he's getting loose, Grizz. Getting loose at the bottom of this run at Rock Creek, and he cuts it inside on those 2 berms. Pinkerton almost out the front door on the final tabletop. And he's going to go 4th. Only 0.4 of a second back, and he's into 4th place. This is crazy tight racing.
Unbelievable.
Checking that tire because, he did everything he could do to throw that tire off the rim, Grizz.
He did. Will, this is just a battle of who can have the most perfect run. I saw one tiny mistake out of Pinkerton, and it just cost him a national title.
Well, Austin Dooley is on the hunt for that title out of Yucaipa, California. Running for Commensal Schwab, our #1 qualifier, our silver medalist last year. He's going to uncork a big one.
Well, this is it. Austin Dooley, our fastest seated rider on the day yesterday. He's going to be going all or nothing. He's going to be aiming for a 150. It's going to take a 150 to be national champion today. Dooley's got his intensity bumped right where it needs to be. Wow. Opting to ride a little wider track right there. Is that going to pay off, or is that going to work against him as he approaches this first split?
Yeah, he's trying to keep the rhythm and the flow of the track, and he's up, Grizz, 44.8, and he's been a perennial bridesmaid here. As I mentioned, last year was silver medalist. He was second here behind Dakota Norton in the Monster Energy Pro downhill earlier this year, so he knows he's right on the cusp of something special.
Dooley is taking some unique lines. He's actually rode some where most riders have been trying to straighten out the track. Dooley's been actually using the track and keeping his speed up and going, corner to corner, outside to outside, inside to outside here, railing that berm, getting a nice low exit. Buttery smooth off the diving board. Rails that berm. What's he going to do here? Staying low, opting not to triple, going wide. Clean down that step down. My goodness, this is an absolute nail biter. Dooley has left it all between the tape today. On the gas as he crosses the finish line here. Will, what is the time going to tell us?
It's a 152 for Austin Dooley, another second place, and that means Asa Vermette is your national champion this year. Let the celebrations begin in the Frameworks camp. Vermette has done it. What an incredible afternoon, and this is a podium for the ages, Grizz, as we have a junior taking the elite national title, the 17-year-old Asa Vermette on top of the podium, with Austin Dooley in second, and Aaron Gwynn coming onto the podium with a bronze medal. Let's go hear from Asa Vermette.
Asa, when you came here to Rock Creek at the start of the week, is this how you envisioned it ending with this jersey?
I mean, it's definitely how I wanted it to end. I wasn't like gunning for it. I just wanted to have a good, fun weekend. It was sweet being back home. It was definitely a lot less pressure. Just felt like I was having more fun on this track in practice than like a World Cup. Just because, I don't know, less pressure, I guess. I was just having fun.
It worked out, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit. How comfortable do you feel here at Rock Creek? I mean, it's the world headquarters of Frameworks Racing.
I love this track, actually. I mean, it's worked out good for me the last races I've been here. And, yeah.
Well, you're just starting your career. And there's also a lot of other young U.S. riders that were throwing down in the top 10 at this national championship.
Dude, yeah, it's been insane. We've been racing for the past, 5 years, too. All the same group, doing national champs in Winter Park. I mean, ever since I can remember.
Well, we can't wait to see what the future holds for you, Asa. Congratulations on the national championship. It's Asa Vermette, your 2024 Elite Men's Downhill National Champion.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for our 2024 U.S. National Gravity Championships. Congratulations to all of our newly crowned champions. Special thank you to SRAM and Downhill Southeast for bringing this race replay show to you. And on behalf of myself and the entire crew at the Gravity Co-op, we want to thank you for supporting U.S. Downhill.